Alright, what's up, guys? So, yeah, as you can see by the title, I had COVID, and it sucked. Overall, it sucked. And it just kind of leaves me scared when I'm doing anything now. So, I am going to get my booster shots. That's one thing for sure. I already got my vaccine shots last year. But yeah, overall, like, I still wear my mask everywhere I go. I just, guess I gotta be more cautious and safe. Now I started bringing a hand sanitizer bottle everywhere I go. So yeah, like overall this video, it will be kind of like, doing a story time, explaining to you guys like overall like my experience having COVID. And then yeah, towards the end of the video it'll be like, just kind of telling y'all like, hey, be safe out there and things. And hopefully, me telling my experience may motivate you to, be a little bit more safer out there. Like overall, I know people have like their feelings with the vaccine shots and stuff, and you don't trust it, you don't like really understand it, which I understand. Like, no, I was the same way at one point, but then it was, I remember it was a friend of mine's had kind of talked me into getting my vaccine shots. So yeah. Also, by the way, if I look like sweaty and oily and stuff, it's hot. It says it's only 67, but I'm like, nah, bro. It feels like it's like 80 something. All right, so. But anyways, yeah, it's like, black people, we got a sweating issue and things. I know eventually, probably, 10 years from now, I'm going to have to get the rag and start patting down my head and stuff. But anyways, moving on. So, talking on COVID, all right? So, here's the thing. So, I went out Tuesday. And then there was a family member that also went out and about in Seattle on Tuesday. And I don't know if it was me going out and coming in contact with somebody that had COVID, or they might have came in contact with somebody that had COVID. But the thing is it's weird because they also took a test and the test came back negative. So I don't really understand that. I don't think a lot of people really understand how COVID works. I'm like, I don't understand, like you hear so many different things about COVID. It's like, it's confusing at times. So, anyways, but yeah, overall, like, people were out and about on Tuesday and stuff. And so the reason why I say that is because they say COVID usually kicks in like 48 hours after you did something and stuff. So Thursday, started noticing that I had, well, it was more so just one symptom. It wasn't like a bunch of different symptoms. It was just one, and it was a scratchy throat. Didn't think much of it. I thought, okay, I have been recording a lot of videos. Maybe it's, I'm just, burnt out or something. I don't know. But the thing is like now and sitting down thinking about it, I'm like, fam, what were you doing in like 2015, 2016? You was recording like 30 videos a day, bruh. Like, how could you be burnt out? It's like, I don't even get that. So, anyways, that's what was running through my mind. So I think I do remember I was drinking water. Also on top of the weather kind of being a little hot. I was drinking a lot of water. And then what other things was I doing? Yeah, and just chilling and stuff. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't think I was gonna really be like dealing with COVID until later on that night. But yeah, so fast forward till later on that night, that's when I realized I started, like I might have COVID and stuff. And I did a podcast episode. I can't remember the title of it, but by the time when this video comes out, you could like go through my podcast, and it's like some of the later episodes that I've recorded. And yeah, it's like one, or it's like I think the first one is the night I knew I had COVID or something like that. And I got like some other COVID episodes. So that first podcast episode was like the night of. And you could like hear it in my voice. And I think even in the second episode I did, where it was kind of giving like, people a COVID, or letting people know like I tested positive, I took a test and all that stuff. And yeah, overall, like, you could hear it in my voice and just like, I guess like tell by my vibe that, yeah, it was like I was out of it. It was the worst. But so anyways, so yeah, that night, Thursday night, I'm trying to go to sleep and I can't because I'm for some reason wide awake. I did not remotely feel tired. And I'm trying to think, if I had streamed, I don't think I streamed for a long period of time. I think that was like one of the first like, like short streams I did, like during this whole like COVID, crap and things. And so I think I streamed for a little bit. And then I had now I no because I think that's what it was. It was like, okay, I was like, I think I said in the stream, like, I'm feeling like tired and stuff. I was feeling a certain way. I thought I was just tired, but I wasn't, because when I went to go lay down and go to sleep, couldn't go to sleep. So then the symptoms really start kicking in, because then I started getting the chills, and so I would turn my fan off because it's, hot and stuff, and then just out of nowhere, body temperature would just start rising. And I think it was overall like the fever was kicking in, and then chills, and it was so weird and stuff. And then it was like the scratchy throat. So that's when it like dawned to me. I'm like, maybe I should look online and see overall, like, what's the deal and stuff. And so I had looked up like COVID symptoms, and then sure enough, I was like, all these different symptoms I'm having were COVID symptoms. So then at that point, I was like, no, for certain, like 100% got COVID. I'm like, I don't even need to take a test. The way my body is feeling right now, I don't need to take a test to know that I have COVID. I know I have COVID, all right? So anyways, so I couldn't sleep. I was actually scared to sleep. That was the thing about it. And that was something that I guess like the day with my family, I highly doubt my family will ever watch this video. But so I'm like, and it's something I didn't tell my family, but when that night, I was honestly kind of scared to go to sleep, because at that point, I remember I tried to like get out of bed, and I can barely move, and it was like so just stressful on my body to even move. And I was like, I honestly thought I was gonna die. I honestly thought I wasn't even gonna wake up that morning. And I was like, man, like, I will really hate for my family to discover I'm no longer here, because I'm like COVID hit. And that's the thing where it's like, you're so like scared, you're so nervous, you don't know. And it's like, I don't really know like what COVID can do to a person. I'm like, this stuff is like brand spanking new and things. I mean, it's like been here for a few years, but still I'm like, I'm iffy about it and stuff. So but anyways, so I remember I didn't go to sleep that night. I just stayed up and watched the movie. And then eventually, I think it was maybe like 4 or 5 in the morning, like leading into that Friday. Then I think at some point in time I did just doze off, and then I, thank God, woke up and was like, I told the family member that went out, I was all like, I honestly think I got COVID. And I was like, no, the way I'm feeling right now, I'm like, nah, this ain't normal. I'm like, this ain't right. So we did have some tests sitting around. And so anyways, I took the test. And they say, like, when you're taking it, by the way, that test is so, like, when they give you that, like, paper thing, it is the most confusing thing to look at. Like, if anybody, it's like, they got, like, an app that you can download, and they'll, like, let you know and things, like, what to do. But that paper thing that comes in the box, I'm like, bruh. No, that mess is confusing. I'm like, no, don't use that. Just use the app, all right? Maybe that's just my public school education kicking in, because I was like, I could not understand that paper. So, but anyway, so I did take my test. It was like, and they'd say like, in like 15 minutes, the line should show up and let you know if you have COVID or not. The lines had showed up like halfway through, that 15 minutes. It was maybe at like the 7-minute mark. I had looked at the test just to see if it was doing anything. The second line was already, so I think they said when the C line shows up, like it can come back negative or something like that. I don't know. I have to like look at the paper again. But there's like, it can overall come back negative. But if the other line is also there, then it's positive and stuff. And I think like if it's just one, if the T line, so it's like the C line, I think if that shows up, it's negative. If both lines shows up, it's positive. And I think if the T line shows up, and that's the only line, it's either means that it's negative or you messed up on the test. It's something like that. But so anyways, so yeah, like halfway through the test, it was like already showing, or halfway through the 15 minutes, it was already, the 2 lines was already showing up. So it was like letting me know, like, nah, bro, you don't even have to like look at this. You have COVID, bro. You have COVID. So anyways, at that point, then I just, I think I got me some water, went back in my room, and I pretty much had like slept the whole day. But I had like this goal that I was gonna do like 420 videos, because I had posted online like, hey, like, how many videos should I record this week? And one of my friends had said 420, so I'm like, all right, doing 420, and got to like maybe the 100 mark. And at that point, I was like, I couldn't even, I couldn't even record videos. I think I tried. Did I try? No, I think I had tried streaming that night, but that morning I was like, nope, forget it. I'm like, I'm not even gonna do it and things. So, anyways, went ahead and yeah, just slept the whole day. Was like occasionally waking up to just watch TV and things. But yeah, pretty much was just like resting the whole day. I think I got up for maybe a little bit, and then yeah, at that point I was just that was pretty much like that first day of COVID and stuff. Then I think that night I also I couldn't really sleep and things because I was sleeping the whole day, so I couldn't really sleep. And I think it was either that night or it was Saturday night where I had watched a movie and stuff. But overall, like, no, like, I still, like, besides like other symptoms, so here's two symptoms I was like, I've never heard of that, but that was happening to me. And I'm very confused because I'm like, how does that have to do with it? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe there's just like a new version of a headache that comes along with COVID. My ears and eyes were like sore. They wasn't hurting. They were like sore. Like you can feel like something there. And I'm like, why are my eyes sore? Like, why are my, like, is it from resting too much? Like, why is my ears? I'm like, fam, I'm so confused by what's going on right now. So there was that. And then, of course, I had, like, some, like, stomach, like, overall, when I used the bathroom, I ain't gonna get into details, what the bathroom trips were like. But, yeah, the bathroom trips weren't all that good. What are some other things I was dealing with? And yeah, that was pretty much just, that first week of really dealing with. So here's the thing. I guess they said that my case of COVID is considered mild. They're all like a severe case of COVID is like when you can't breathe and stuff. And so I was kind of like, testing the waters to see overall if I can breathe and things. And I'm like, yeah, it's like I was breathing perfectly fine. Because I remember I heard that, and I don't know if that's true or not, but they said that if you can hold your breath for like 10 seconds or more or something like that, then, then you're good. Like you're chilling and stuff. And I guess you got mild. So I was like, I think I had held my breath for like 10 plus. I can't remember exactly when. I just remember I could like count to 10. I think I got to 9 and then just kind of just like stop counting just to like, overall like just test the waters. Then I don't know why I do that, but anyways, it's weird. But anyways, so yeah, I did that. And then, yeah, I was breathing fine. So I was like, I guess I had a mild case of COVID. It didn't feel mild. I was like, honestly about to, freaking call 1-800-RICK Grimes and say, hey, can you put a revolver bullet through my head? Because I'm honestly thinking I was turning into a walker. I was like, nah, bro, this COVID ain't right. I'm like, this is different. But then again, I'm like, when you're seeing people in like them hospital beds, like coughing up a lung and they, like, yeah, it could have been worse. So that's why I'm like, thank God it wasn't. Thank God I was able to just, be home and just relax. And then, yeah, I guess, like after 5 days, then you can like go out and about and things. But I think I waited a day. Like, so I think I waited, because I think, so it was that Thursday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So wait a minute. Okay, I lost count. Okay, hold on. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So yeah, that Wednesday, I think that's when I had went out. And I got like so I think I had tried exercising. And then there's like all these people on the sidewalk. And I'm like, fam, I don't know how strong COVID is. But I'm sitting here like having to cross back and forth. And so I was like, you know what? No, I'm just going to cut. Plus, I was like, I started getting a headache. And so, yeah, it was, like, exercising was just a no. It was just a big fat no. I'm like, because there's people outside. And I'm like, trying to, like, hold my breath. Like, because there was at times where I couldn't cross. So I like see somebody and things. I'm like jogging. I'm trying to hold my breath and jog at the same time. And I'm like, fam, outside exercising, that's going to put me in the hospital before COVID does. But anyways, but yeah, overall, like, I had, those were my symptoms. I'm trying to think of and then, so here was another thing. So I remember, I was kind of like, watching just like funny videos and all that stuff. And then just kind of was like watching TV. So when I had laughed, my like right shoulder would start getting sore. And I'm like, and then I remember my calf muscle. I woke up one morning and my calf muscle, it felt like sore. And I'm like, what is going on? Why is my body feeling sore and stuff? And then another thing is that when I would laugh, there was like a pressure point like right here in the side of my stomach where it wouldn't like hurt, but you can like feel something there. Like if it was like one of them like alien things, but it was like a little lower instead of it being in my chest. Like it was just kind of like in the stomach. Like it kind of went too far in my body and stuff and got stuck. But it was like I kind of just like felt pressure when I would laugh and things. I'm like, bruh, please do not take my laughter away. I'm like, I got to laugh at things. Do you not understand? I'm like, I'm a content creator. I'm on TikTok and YouTube 24/7. I'm bound to come across a funny video or one be like, dang, I hadn't seen that video in a long time. Let me go watch this funny video I used to crack up laughing at when I was in high school. And I'm like, man, you know, I don't take my laughing away. I'm like, you know, it's overall like I like breathing, but I like laughing. And I'm like, it's kind of like neck and neck, but I'm like, I want to laugh, bro. I'm like, I do want to breathe, but I'm like, just, you know, but how could you laugh without breathing? I feel like that's just that ain't gonna be good. So now I'm like, okay, if it comes down to it, I'm like, take away my laughter, I guess. But yeah, man, overall COVID, it's no joke. It is no joke. And it was honestly one of the worst like sick experiences I've had. It was like friends of mine were reaching out and checking up, even like old manager. Well, my old manager, I consider her a friend. I'm like, but anyways, like, you know, I had like people from all like areas, you know, reaching out to me, family, you know, overall, like, check it up, because it was something where I think also, like, others were scared, too, and I'm like, besides, you know, like, me, I'm like, yeah, it's, you know, it's, I guess, like, it would be crazy in their eyes to see, like, you know, got COVID and stuff, but I'm like, yeah, it's like, you know, if you've been there in my room, like, that Thursday night, and leading into that Friday morning, like, I was, bro, like, that was honestly probably the scariest moment of my life, because it was, like, knowing, like, even prior, before, like, taking the test, I was, like, I knew I had COVID, and I'm, like, fam, like, it's gonna be scary if, like, if I wake up, start having breathing issues, I can't, like, you know, get to anybody in time, or get to the phone in time, or do nothing and things, and it's, like, you know, then I leave this world. And so it was just kind of scary to, you know, think that and stuff. But, yeah, overall, like, you know, I am feeling better, you know, like, I'm feeling much better compared to how I felt before. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm back to normal. But, oh, then I lost, weight. I lost, like, 7 pounds. So, yeah, because I couldn't eat. So, yeah, that was another thing. Couldn't eat, like, appetite wasn't, all the way there. I'm, like, actively remembering the symptoms and stuff as I'm doing this video. I should have, like, wrote down all this stuff, but, yeah, I couldn't eat. I remember I tried eating some top ramen, the day of, like, that Friday, and I couldn't even eat that. I think I ate, like, maybe a couple of bites, and I just threw the rest of it away because I couldn't eat. I think I tried drinking a protein shake to kind of like help with the headache, because I remember there was a time where I got drunk, had a hangover, and yeah, I was like, I remember I had a protein shake and some sandwiches and some like bacon and egg sandwiches, and I felt fine. And then, but yeah, it was like, oh, and then with the protein shake, there was like at a split second where I couldn't even taste it. So I was like, and then I remember I tried to like go and drink me some water, and I couldn't even taste my water either. And I'm like, bruh, don't take away my taste. Please don't. Like, I don't want this to happen. And so, yeah, it was, well, I'm trying to think of some other symptoms. I think that was about it. Like, I pretty much had everything, including some extra stuff, besides, and then, like, all that stuff besides, like, you know, breathing issues. I was like, I didn't have no breathing issues, so I was chilling on that, but yeah, man, COVID is scary. I'm like, I overall wanted to, you know, just take the time of this portion of the video to just let y'all know, like, hey, you know, go out there, get vaccinated, wear your mask, get you a bottle of hand sanitizer. I'm saying they got hand sanitizers, bottles of this size where you can just put it in your pocket. And, you know, yeah, you chilling and things. So, like, in case you touch something, you're like, oh, my God, my hands. Like, your hand just, like, balls up. And, you know, you just got, yeah, just get you a little, rub it in your hands and stuff. And I'm like, and you chilling and things. This is like some, like, what is this? It's like a moisturizing 2-in-1. So, it's like hand sanitizer, and it, like, you know, kind of, like, leaves my hands moisturized and stuff. So, you know, got that going on. What else? You know, like, yeah, wear your mask when you go out. Definitely, you know, because the thing is like, when you're in these stores, just overall, like, you know, that the reason why I'm saying this is because there's people out there that go out and about, and they be like, and they do all that stuff, like, when you're inside of a store, and I'm like, and they don't cover their mouth. I never forget when they very first started talking about COVID. And there was this lady, I remember I was walking on the bus, and right before she stepped on the bus, she said, and I'm like, why would you do that? Like, why would you, like, COVID wasn't, I wasn't really taking COVID seriously at that time, but still a part of me was like, I held my breath when I had walked on the bus. I was like, when I walked past, I can't remember exactly, I think she was sitting in like the front portion of the bus, but until I had like I had held my breath the whole time. I'm like, no, you're cursed, lady. I'm like, you are cursed. Something's wrong with you. But no, like the amount of times, like the 2 years where COVID has been very, very strong. I don't know how many times I've seen people sneeze. I've seen people cough. I've seen people, you know, just do all these crazy wild things out in public. And yeah, and then of course, like, you know, you got the ones where it's all like, oh, I can't wear a mask. I got breathing issues. And I'm like, fam, to explain to you guys like how I am, I still act like it's March 2020 when it comes to COVID, okay? I'm still wearing my mask. I don't take my mask. I think I took my mask off one time when I was in the store, and it was in Foot Locker because it was me and the clerks that was in there. The area that I went to, no activities, bruh. No activities. I'm probably the only one that like actively shows up every single day besides the workers and stuff. So anyways, that was like the one and only time, and I was risking it. I really was risking it, but overall, like, and this wasn't too long ago and stuff, but this was like maybe a couple of months ago. As I was going, it was either a couple of months ago or was it last month? It was at some point. I gotta see when I had bought these Nike shoes, but anyways, but yeah, that was like the one and only time I went into a store. And overall, like, you know, like took my mask off and things. But even after getting my vaccine shot, because I know like a lot of people was like, oh, I don't need to wear my mask no more. I got my vaccine shot. I still wear my mask even after getting my vaccine shot. And even after I get my booster shots, I'm still going to wear my mask. Ain't nobody going to tell me different. It could be, they can come out and say on the news, COVID is over. I'm like, I'm still wearing my mask, okay? Under any circumstances whatsoever. I'm probably if I were to be in a relationship right now and we were talking on marriage and we were to get married at some point in time, in the wedding photos, I am wearing my mask, okay? Like, I'm like, if we got to kiss with our mask on, okay, maybe not all that, but I'm just saying, like, people, like, you know, wear your mask, you know, like, just do it. Like, do it to, if you don't really care about yourself getting COVID, then, you know, care about, like, there's other people out there, because that was, like, one thing where I was like, I don't want to give COVID to, like, anybody and stuff. So that's why I'm like, okay, you know, like, wearing my mask, distancing myself from people. I'm like, you know, overall, I was like having to post it online because I'm like, you know, in case of a friend just wanted to like randomly surprise me and be like, oh, hey, let's hang out and stuff. I'm like, kind of got COVID and things. So yeah, it was, I was thinking that. And then, yeah, overall, just like, you know, I gotta just, you know, play it safe next time and things. So yeah, I was like, now I'd like, when I go out places, I'm like, no, I'm like looking at people, I'm like, you don't look sick, but I still don't trust you and stuff. So, but yeah, overall, what other things? Yeah, you know, if you're not scared of getting the vaccine shots, then yeah, go ahead, get your vaccine shots, wait it out, get your booster shots, and then yeah, you know, just overall, just play it safe when you going out in public and things, because nah, man, COVID ain't no joke. It is a serious, serious thing, all right? So, anyways, and that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, everybody that reached out to me. I know a lot of you guys, because I didn't post online, or I did post, like, on social media platforms, but I didn't post on YouTube that I had COVID. So, yeah, overall, but there are some podcast episodes that I recorded while I had COVID. And, yeah, you know, so you can hear how I was sounding and overall, like, get like those, like, you know, experience, like, just overall, like, if you just need better convincing, listen to them podcast episodes. But if you don't want to get vaccinated and you don't want to wear your mask, I'm like, then hey, that's on you. So, but yeah, talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace.